Good evening, everybody. I'm so happy to see you all, and I hope that today we are going to have a great time learning something new. Today's topic is straightforward ways to set yourself up for success. हम सबको success बहुत पसंद है. We all like people who are successful. This world is in love with champions, right? And we all want to be successful. It's just that we don't know how. So let's spend the next 20 or 25 minutes learning how you can set yourself up for success. Everybody wants to be successful. I do not know anyone who doesn't want to be successful. Sabko successful banna hai. Everybody knows somebody who's successful. Everybody knows a friend who wants to, who is successful. Sabke dreams hai. And we've had all these crazy ways of showing what our dreams are. Bigger cars or fancy apartments or bigger houses or better clothes or, all these different elements of what we think success is. हमें ये सब लगता है. And as parents, I think most of our dreams, हमारे सारे dreams ये हैं कि हम हमारे बच्चों को successful बनाएं. We always want to make our children successful. And we also, I think, I personally feel most parents also want to be successful parents. They want to give their children the best they can get. They want to give their children what they did not have. ये सब चीजें हैं. And I think that is a dream, that is a goal for so many people, and we need to think through about that. So straightforward ways to set yourself up for success. So what does this mean? Success is a status of having achieved something and accomplished an aim or an objective. That is what successful means. Let's look at it this way. If you won a lottery, अगर आप एक lottery जीतते हो, तो nobody considers you to be successful. They consider you to be lucky. तू lucky हो गया है. If you do anything, if you suddenly get up one day and you realize that आपका family में किसी का देहांत हो गया and उन्होंने एक will लिखा था कि उनका सारा property आपके नाम पे है. No one looks at you and says you're successful. At the same time, they say you're just lucky, right? At the same time, there are situations where आप एक चीज you wanted something, you wanted to get something, you wanted to achieve something, you wanted to accomplish something. आपका एक goal था, आपका एक aim था, और उस aim के पीछे आपने लगातार काम किया. You spent time, you read, you studied, you put effort, you did things you don't like, and that is what maturity is, doing things you don't like. And you pushed yourself and you achieved that goal, you achieved that dream that you had. और जब वो आपको मिलता है, that's when people say you're successful. Even if people don't tell you that you're successful, आपको अंदर से वो विश्वास है, आपको अंदर से वो फीलिंग है, आपको अंदर से वो एक एहसास है कि you are successful. And remember, all success is not equated to money. In fact, most of the greatest successes in life that you have are absolutely not equated with money. Money is not equal to happiness. Money does not bring you happiness, right? So you want to understand the mindset of being successful. Am I telling you that आपको successful नहीं बनना है? Am I telling you you don't have to be rich? Am I telling you you should not be wealthy? No, that's not what I'm telling you. What I'm telling you is you have to be successful. और successful होने के लिए एक तरीका है, एक method, एक framework है. Because you're not the first person to roam on this earth. आपके पहले हजारों साल, 2000 साल, 3000 साल, there were people on this earth. And everyone has had some goals, dreams, and visions, and everybody has worked towards achieving it. So if we start understanding कि इसके पहले, how did people actually make sure that things were happening and how were they getting successful? If we can learn that, हम उस टेक्नोलॉजी को हम अपना पाएंगे और हम उस टेक्नोलॉजी से हम कुछ सीख सकते हैं. So beautiful, absolutely beautiful statement by Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn is a motivational coach, speaker, leadership trainer, performance coach, and if you can go online and listen to some of Jim Rohn's speaking, you will definitely learn a lot. Not just, listening to people like us who read from people like Jim Rohn and then bring it to you in a easy to understand manner. Like, if you can start also reading and following people like these, you will see that it makes a big difference to the way you think, right? So Jim Rohn, if you could write Jim Rohn in the chat box, that will be really good for people to understand. Jim Rohn, yeah. Success is no accident. सबसे पहले जिम रॉन ये बोलता है कि सक्सेस एक्सीडेंट नहीं है. It's not about being lucky. Success is about hard work. इस दुनिया में बहुत सारे ऐसे sayings हैं कि hard work मत करो, smart work करो, and think, I don't believe that, because really there is absolutely no alternative to success, for hard work when it comes to success. I have always seen people who have worked hard, really hard in their lives, have really, really done well, right? It's about perseverance. Perseverance means आपका consistency, आपका level of commitment for something कि आप वो persevere करते हो. Persevere कब करते हो आप? जब कोई मुश्किलें आ जाता है, डिस्ट्रैक्शंस आ जाता है, दूसरे चीज़ें करने के लिए आपको इन्विटेशंस आता है, बट यू परसिवियर, यू कंटिन्यू, यू हैव ग्रिटी, मतलब तुम मैदान छोड़ के नहीं जाओगे. दैट is what perseverance means. That means the same goal, same objective, same you, pushing through and persevering to the end, right? Learning. लोगों को लगता है लर्निंग से क्या होता है, लर्निंग से कुछ अर्निंग नहीं होता है, बट लर्निंग, राइट, लर्निंग इज अ फंडामेंटल एस्पेक्ट about being successful. I've seen very few successful people who don't believe in learning. Every successful person that I have met are extreme learners. They know how to learn from people, from situations, from experiences, from feedback, from elders, from children, from people who are qualified, people who are not. They know to learn. उनको सीखने को आता है. So you have to ask yourself, क्या आपको सीखने को आता है? So it's hard work, it's perseverance, it's learning, it's studying. See, there's a difference between learning and studying. Studying is that conscious, intentional process कि मैं बैठ के अभी कुछ पढ़ूंगा. I have to cut that time out. I have to sit and then I have to study. Study means going into the detail, the depth, going into the lines, the words, the meaning of that words, and making sure that I have understood it, and the application of what I studied is visible as learning. मेरा behavior change होता है. Learning is defined as change in behavior. Studying is the process which allows you to intentionally and meaningfully and purposefully focus on studying something new, right? So imagine how much success needs. Success is about hard work, perseverance, learning, studying, sacrifice. Yeah. Sacrifice, because you will have to sacrifice things. आपको बहुत सारे चीजें छोड़ना पड़ेगा just so that you are able to achieve your goals, your visions, your aims, and your objectives. So sacrifice, and most of all, you got to love what you're doing or what you're learning to do. If you don't love what you're doing, you're going to be half-hearted. आप सिर्फ करने के लिए करोगे, आप दिल से काम नहीं करोगे. आपका तन मन धन has to be completely involved with the process that you're doing. And that's when you become one. You become one with your aims, your goals and objectives. You're fully integrated. And anyone who comes, meets you, interacts with you, आपके साथ time spend करता है, they have a qualitative experience of who you are, because that is the kind of person you are. You're not lost. You are connected and you have a sense of purpose and you're driven. Okay? So that is, I think, a very loaded and very powerful statement by Jim Rohn. Go ahead and use the chat box. Type in what you think you're learning from this. Any particular questions you have, use the chat box and things we'll take it from there. So what do you want? So the first big point is, what do you want out of your life right now? You got to think. See, हंसते हैं लोग, राइट? जब भी हम बोलते हैं ना कि आप लिखो, आप सोचो, आपका लाइफ का एक गोल होना चाहिए, एक प्लान होना चाहिए, 99.9999% लोग ये सब करते नहीं है, बिकॉज ये सब लोगों को मालूम है, सबको मालूम है, लेकिन करते नहीं. You see, you need to know what the price is. You need to be willing to pay the price, and most importantly, you have to pay the price. And most people, who I know, they just don't do it. They don't write it down. They don't know what they want. They don't have clarity. So the first and most important thing for you, ladies and gentlemen, is you want to build clarity. What do you want? I remember a beautiful story. I had this big dream, this project about road safety, and I went to my local MLA and I made a big 20-minute speech. ऐसा होना चाहिए, वैसा होना चाहिए, ये होना चाहिए, वो होना चाहिए, ये करेंगे, वो करेंगे. And he was like, wait. मुझसे क्या चाहते हो तुम? Please tell me that now. And I was like, oh, okay, मैं आपसे ये चाहता हूँ. And instantly he was like, yeah, okay, हो गया. Clarity. We need to focus on clarity. अगर आपको successful बनना है, the first step is clarity. You got to ask yourself, what is it that you want from your life? Is it happiness? Is it success, fame? Is it power? Is it wealth? There are people who have very clear ideas. मुझे fame चाहिए. With fame, it's not necessary comes wealth. With wealth, it's not necessary that you will get fame. These are 3-4 different kinds of orientations. Go online and check what are the different kinds of orientations. Some people, आपके लाइफ में ऐसे कितने लोग होंगे who says नहीं, पैसा वैसा नहीं चाहिए, but मुझे ये करना है, या मुझे ये सक्सेसफुल बनना है. So you could be wealth driven, you could be success driven, you could be fame driven, or you could be wealth driven. अगर कोई इंसान वेल्थ ड्रिवन है और आप जाके उसको सक्सेस ड्रिवन चीज़ें बताते हैं तो उसको इंटरेस्ट नहीं है. सो आइडेंटिफाई, रियली गो बैक एंड आइडेंटिफाई आपका जो ओरिएंटेशन है वो क्या है. आपका हस्बैंड का या आपका वाइफ का ओरिएंटेशन क्या है. बिकॉज ये जो ओरिएंटेशंस है और जो मोटिवेशंस है, ये आपके बच्चों के ऊपर भी असर पड़ता है, उनका पर्सपेक्टिव भी चेंज होता है. You are the people who are modeling these things for your children, and so you have to be careful. Think about it. Ask yourself, where am I today? See, you can have multiple goals. It's not like कि तुम्हारा entire 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 साल का life का एक goal होना चाहिए. You can have multiple goals. Different goals from different situations, from different people, at different age groups, all kinds of things. Don't think it is just one thing. Yeah? But you got to have goals. And then you have to ask yourself today, where am I today with one or all of the above goals? Where am I in terms of my happiness? Where am I in terms of my success? Where am I in terms of fame, power, and wealth? Where am I, right? First of all, आपको पता होना चाहिए कि आप कहाँ हो. आपका life partner कहाँ है? As a family, आप कहाँ हो? And then you want to ask yourself, where do I actually want to be? You don't want to ask yourself where my friend is, or where my sister is, or where my brother is, or where my, whoever classmate or batchmate is. You got to ask yourself, where are you? Where do you, or where do I actually want to be? मैं यहाँ हूँ, where do I want to be? And you got to find the gap. You have to find the gap, because if you don't find the gap, then you're fooling yourself. आप अपने आप को उल्लू बना रहे हो. Because if you say no, मेरे को सब मिल गया जो मुझे चाहिए, then you are probably fooling yourself. So you want to find the gap, and then you want to take steps towards bridging that gap. So here are some tips for you to find out what you want in life right now. Yeah, these are some of the tips. First is, where am I? So where am I You ask yourself this question on knowledge. Where am I on knowledge? अगर मैं ये जॉब कर रहा हूँ आज, टुडे इफ आई एम लेट्स से एन अकाउंटेंट, आई हैव टू आस्क माई सेल्फ दैट क्वेश्चन, मैं नॉलेज में कहाँ हूँ? Am I a great accountant, or am I not so good accountant, or am I a beginning accountant? मेरा जीएसटी में नॉलेज कैसा है, या मेरा फाइलिंग ऑफ रिटर्न्स में कैसा नॉलेज है, या मेरा एमआईएस सिस्टम में कैसा नॉलेज? Really, what is that knowledge that you are? You know, what is that body of knowledge that you have? So where are you in terms of knowledge today? Ask yourself that question. Knowledge, clear knowledge, depending on what you're doing and depending upon your goals. Next one is skill sets. Do you have the right skill sets? You see, there are so many teachers. ये कोविड सिचुएशन में कितने सारे टीचर्स जिसको बहुत नॉलेज है, 25-25 साल का एक्सपीरियंस के टीचर्स को बहुत नॉलेज है, बट उनको कंप्यूटर चलाना, डिजिटल सिस्टम्स चलाना, लर्निंग मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम्स चलाने का स्किल सेट नहीं है. तो स्किल सेट जिसके पास नहीं है वो ही वेंट आउट ऑफ द गेम. वो अपना नॉलेज यूज नहीं कर पाया क्योंकि उनके पास वो स्किल सेट्स नहीं है. तो व्हाट डज द न्यू वर्ल्ड लुक लाइक? What does a post-COVID scenario look like? What skill sets do you have? अगर आपके पास बहुत सारा नॉलेज है इंजीनियरिंग के बारे में और आपको अपने बच्चे को वो इंजीनियरिंग के बारे में आपको नॉलेज देना है, अगर आपको कम्युनिकेशन का स्किल सेट अगर आपके पास नहीं है, तो आप अपने बच्चे को वो कैसे सिखाएंगे? So you want to know that knowledge and skill set have to go hand in hand. Where are you today on knowledge and where are you today on skill set? Then you want to ask yourself the question, where am I today on success? Really? Yeah. Where am I on success? This is not about good, bad, oh, I'm bad, oh, I'm not good, oh, I could be better. No, it's about where am I? It's about honesty. Most people are not honest. उनको ना सच्चाई से डर लगता है. So you have to be honest and you have to be true to yourself, right? Where are you on wealth? And wealth is not money alone. Wealth is not bank balance. Wealth. Understand there is a difference between rich and wealthy. There's a difference between cash and wealth. There is a difference between saving and investment. तो इसके बारे में सोचो, थोड़ा गूगल करो, थोड़ा स्टडी करो, लोगों से बात करो. Change your conversations. When you change your conversations, you change your thoughts. When you change your thoughts, you change your actions. And when you change your actions, you change your life. So think about that. Where are you on all these things? Where am I today? बहुत मुश्किल है, लेकिन अगर आप बैठ के करोगे तो definitely you would have moved forward. And then ask yourself, where should you be? And where should I be? आप कैसे करोगे? You can't just sit there and think, where should I be? मैं अपने आप से करूँगा. You can't do that. It involves a lot of brainstorming. Talk to your partner, talk to your spouse, talk to your wife, husband, talk to your boss, talk to your mentors, talk to your friends, talk to your classmates, your batchmates, talk to other successful people. And when you know what your knowledge is, what your skill set is, you can also brainstorm with them to find out, hey, what do you think it should be? So many people tell me, Willie, you should be doing this also, that you should do, and you can do this and that, and so many things. And you brainstorm ideas from others. Where you should be is not going to be your own answer. It has to be a collective answer. From people who have known you, from people who have seen you, and from people who have seen success as well. Because उनको पता है कि क्या possible है और क्या possible नहीं है. So make sure that you are brainstorming. And not just that, it's about feedback. Feedback is so important. कुछ भी आप करते हो, खाना बनाते हो, आपने एक presentation बनाया, आपने एक document बनाया, take feedback. टेक फीडबैक. और लोगों को ज़्यादा करके फीडबैक लेने आता नहीं है. तुरंत लोग बोलते प्लीज़ मुझे फीडबैक दो, और जैसे ही कोई किसी ने फीडबैक दिया, इंस्टेंटली फर्स्ट सेंटेंस में यू विल गेट बैक एंड यू विल से नहीं नहीं ये मैंने ऐसा किया क्योंकि मैं वो ऐसा, नहीं नहीं ये, यू स्टार्ट जस्टिफाइंग द रीजन why you did something जब भी आपको फीडबैक मिलता है. सो पॉइंट नंबर 1, जब आप फीडबैक के लिए पूछोगे आप अपना मुंह चुप रखोगे, कान खुला रखोगे एंड यू लिसन टू फीडबैक, बिकॉज फीडबैक इज रियल and the feedback that you get is what is going to improve you, because your job is not to prove to the सामने वाला person कि नहीं नहीं तू गलत है. You are taking feedback because that feedback is for you. आपको फ्री में वो फीडबैक मिल रहा है, आपको इतना रिच फीडबैक मिलता है that you can then introspect to sit down and think, ये फीडबैक मुझे उन्होंने दिया. Instantly we feel no वो उनका फीडबैक गलत है, उनको समझ में नहीं आता, उनको क्या मालूम. No, you have to stop yourself from thinking that and you need to start building your feedback and introspection. Introspection means sitting and thinking about what people said or what feedback you got, or even if nobody gave you feedback, if I did something today, आज मैं ये सेशन ले रहा हूँ आपके साथ, मैं ये सेशन के बाद सोचूंगा इसके बारे में कि मैंने क्या किया, मैंने कब किया, मैंने कैसा किया, मैंने ऐसा क्यों किया, वैसा क्यों किया, मैं इस तरीके से क्यों बैठा हूँ, या मैं ये कब क्यों यूज कर रहा हूँ. एवरीथिंग आई विल थिंक एंड आई विल इंट्रोस्पेक्ट. यू सी हमारे सोसाइटी में वी ट्रेन आवर चिल्ड्रन, अरे ज्यादा मत सोच, अरे तू ओवर थिंकिंग करता है, तू ओवर एनालिसिस करता है. दीज आर नॉट थिंग्स वी नीड टू टेल आवर चिल्ड्रन. एक बच्चा अगर सोचता है और एनालाइज करता है और इंट्रोस्पेक्ट करता है और रिफ्लेक्शन करता है, तो दीज आर हायर ऑर्डर थिंकिंग टूल्स एंड वी मस्ट अलाउ देम टू थिंक इन हायर ऑर्डर स्ट्रैटेजीज. एंड you will notice that people don't want you to start thinking. It's almost as a सोच मत, जो बोला वो कर. Now you want to promote thinking. And that is the most important thing. Promote thinking. Okay? So keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen. And then you want to find the gap. क्या ये gaps है कि मैं अभी पिछले 10 साल से टीचर हूँ, मुझे वाइस प्रिंसिपल बनना है, मेरा नॉलेज क्या है, स्किल्स क्या है, सक्सेस क्या है, वेल्थ क्या है, फ्रेम क्या है. Then I go and brainstorm, get feedback, introspect, reflect, and spend time and persevere and build and study and learn. And then I write down my gaps and I start working towards that gaps. क्या नहीं है बोलो मुझे. I'll tell you a very simple example. काफ़ी लोगों को समझ में नहीं आता है. अगर आप एक होम लोन, कभी भी अगर आपने लाइफ में होम लोन लिया, इफ़ यू हैव टेकन अ होम लोन, प्लीज़ गो ahead and type in the comment box yes करके, or you can write HL home loan, or you can write home. Okay, use the chat box and write home or HL, and I know that you've taken a home loan. अगर आप एक होम लोन कभी एप्लीकेशन आपने लिया है, या कार लोन, या होम लोन, या अगर आपने कभी पासपोर्ट के लिए अप्लाई किया है, या कभी आपने कोई वीज़ा के लिए अप्लाई किया है, तो वहाँ पे हमेशा लिस्ट ऑफ डॉक्यूमेंट्स आपको देता है, लिस्ट ऑफ डॉक्यूमेंट्स. और जैसे ही आप वो लिस्ट ऑफ डॉक्यूमेंट देखते हो, तुरंत आप एक के पीछे एक, सबके पीछे लग जाते हो. हाँ ये चाहिए, ये चाहिए, ये नहीं है, ये चाहिए, ये चाहिए, अरे डोमिसाइल सर्टिफिकेट मैं लेके आता हूँ फटाफट. And you go one by one, tuck, 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 tuck. You start running after each and every document that you want. And you find the document and you submit the paper and say, ho gaya. I submitted my paper. I got my home loan, I got my car loan, I got my visa, I got my passport. The sense of achievement. हम ये clarity के साथ, क्या हम हमारा जिंदगी के गोल्स, क्या उसके पीछे हम पढ़ते हैं? ऐसे नहीं पढ़ते हैं ना, नहीं पढ़ते, क्योंकि हमको लगता है क्या है, आता है मुझे सब कुछ, करने का जरूरत नहीं. Think about that for a second. You want to write everything down, don't judge, and don't eliminate anything. So that was the first point, yeah, really understanding who you are and how you're getting work done. The next one is you want to set. This is point 2. So first I told you, okay, and then I told you about the 3 tips. Now this is the second point, setting your personal goals. If you don't have personal goals, you are a ship without a rudder. Ship without a rudder मतलब ऐसे आप घूम रहे हो. Big goals big and small, can be the stepping stones to a happier life, and the way we set them can make a difference towards achieving them. So goals होना चाहिए. जिस तरीके से आप उसको set करते हो, that's when you either achieve them or not. So here are some tips on setting the right personal life goals. First, list your 3 most important goals. At any point in time, you can have 3 most important goals. List it down. आप एक छोटा सा बुक खरीदो, एक 200 पेज का बुक खरीदो, राइट डायरी एंड स्टार्ट लिस्टिंग थिंग्स डाउन. लोग देखेंगे, हंसेंगे, हंसने दो. Write these down. Take major definite goals which are most critical to your success. जैसे आप लिखोगे ना, what you write, you clarify. देखो एक सिंपल चीज बोलता हूँ. 20 साल पहले शायद मुझे 10-15 लोगों का नंबर याद रहता था. इनफैक्ट आज भी मुझे 20 साल पहले वालों का नंबर याद है. लेकिन जब से फोन में हमने नंबर्स डालना चालू किए, मुझे किसी का नंबर याद नहीं है. What is the meaning of that? The meaning of that is when you start writing things down, the brain clarifies that. And the brain says, boss, वहां लिखा है. तुमको अगर ये इंफॉर्मेशन चाहिए तो तुमको वहां से वो इंफॉर्मेशन तुमको मिलेगा. तुम्हें अपना दिमाग उसके लिए यूज करने का जरूरत नहीं है. एंड द ब्रेन फ्रीज अप मोर कॉग्निटिव रिसोर्सेज फॉर यू. करेक्ट? सो write things down because it helps you clarify. Then you want to reframe your major goals. Reframe. Very important to reframe, right? Let's say if I say I'm fat, I can reframe to that I am getting fitter. Right? I've reframed that. Now, you want to reframe all your major goals. हाँ, मुझे 1 लाख रुपया महीने का कमाना है. That is a goal. Then you want to reframe that into making it really specific. 1 लाख कभी चाहिए आपको? कितने महीने में चाहिए? हर महीना चाहिए? कैसे चाहिए? You know, all that. Is it measurable? क्या आप उसको measure कर सकते हो, जो भी आपका goal है? Is it measurable? Is it achievable? क्या आप एक्चुअली वो अचीव कर सकते हो? क्या आप में वो स्किल सेट, नॉलेज, एक्सपीरियंस वो सब है टू मेक दैट हैपन? क्या आप ये रेलिवेंट है? क्या इसका ज़रूरत है? इज इट समथिंग दैट यू शुड बी डूइंग राइट नाउ? यू नो, पूरा दुनिया आज इलेक्ट्रिकल बाइक्स और इलेक्ट्रिकल कार्स बना रहे हैं, और अगर मैंने एक गोल बनाया कि मुझे सबसे अच्छा डीजल इंजन बनाना है, is it relevant to the current time, right? And is it time bound? क्या आपने अपने गोल के लिए एक टाइम रखा है? That is something that is most important. देखो, most of the time ना, आपके साथ जो friends होंगे आपके, जो कोई important, जो कोई आपके significant friends होंगे, जब भी आप कुछ उनको गोल देंगे, आप बोलेंगे अरे मुझे ये करना है, अगर मुझे एक घर लेना है, मुझे एक बंगलो लेना है, मुझे एक गाड़ी लेना है, या मुझे ये, some of your friends will immediately ask you, कभी लेना है? कैसे लेगा? बताओ मुझे एग्जैक्ट प्लान तुम्हारा. क्या वो एक्चुअली ले पाएगा? तो इज इट अवेलेबल? इंडिया में मिलता है वो मॉडल? और जब ऐसे सवाल हमारे दोस्त पूछते हैं ना, हम तुरंत उनको स्नब करते. इमीडिएटली डोंट आस्क मी सच, मैं करूंगा ना, मैंने बोला ना, मैंने कर दिया. बहुत जिद्दी हूँ मैं, एक बार बोल दिया तो मैं कर देता. ऑल इज गुड इन बॉलीवुड, बट रियलिटी में ये सब नहीं चलता है. जो फ्रेंड्स, जो आपके दोस्त लोग, जो आपके फ्रेंड्स who ask you questions around this, those are the guys who are trying to clarify your vision. They're trying to help you convert your dream into an action plan, because dreams only happen when you're sleeping. Action plans are the ones that take you closer to your goals. So many friends of mine, जब मैं कुछ बोलता हूँ उनको मुझे ये करना है, सबसे पहले वो बोलते क्यों करना है, and immediately I feel like क्या क्यों करना है, मेरे को करना है ना. But they're asking why, and it is only your the best people in your group who's going to ask you, क्यों करना है, ये करना क्यों चाहता है तू? Because they are asking the why. And there will be a lot of other friends who will say, very good, kar, tu kar. Everybody wants to see some entertainment. So look for those difficult, strong, tough people in your life and your friends who challenge you, who question you, who ask, who demand answers. Tu bata mere ko कि तू कैसे अचीव करेगा ये. Because when you answer those difficult questions, that's when you are on the path to success. Go ahead and use the chat box. Tell me, what do you think about whatever you've heard right now? आपको क्या लग रहा है? Yukta is saying, today I told my class 10 students about feedback. That is really good, Yukta. Feedback is information. How do you deal with information? That is how you should deal with feedback. Dipti is saying, to improve, feedback is an absolute must. Yes, absolutely. All right, we move forward. And you want to then think of making a graded action plan. A graded action plan. Most people go ahead and make an action plan, but they don't make a graded action plan. So if I have a dream, मुझे घर लेना है, I will say, हाँ मुझे 2 साल में घर लेना है. And वो हमेशा अगला 5 साल के लिए मैं वही बोलूंगा, मुझे 2 साल में घर लेना है, 2 साल में घर लेना है. नहीं, you got to stop and you got to say, 2 साल में घर नहीं लेना. अब मेरे को 18 महीना में घर लेना है, 16 महीना में घर लेना है, 15 महीना में घर लेना है. That's the first thing. The second thing is, पहला 3 महीने में मैं ये करूंगा, दूसरे 3 महीने में मैं ये करूंगा, तीसरे 3 महीने में ये करूंगा, चौथे 3 महीने में ये करूंगा. You got to create a graded action plan. If you really want to get cracking, and if you really, really want to find something that you really, care about, then you need a action plan. Hasina is saying, कोशिश करेंगे तो कामयाबी होती नहीं तो नहीं होती. Okay. So think about what this detailed outlining needs. Detailed में लिखो, detail. देखो, don't skip the details. सब लोग है ना, मोटा मोटा चीज करते हैं, मोटा मोटा ये है, मोटा मोटा समझाना, मोटा मोटा समझाना. नहीं, go for the detail. First of all of us have this feeling कि मुझे किसी को बोलना नहीं है कि मुझे समझ में नहीं आया. क्यों? फिर लोग क्या सोचेंगे मेरे बारे में, लोग क्या सोचेंगे. Learn to tell people कि मुझे नहीं समझा, प्लीज वापस समझाओ, मुझे नहीं समझा. To tell somebody or something कि मुझे नहीं समझा, इसमें कोई छोटा बड़ा नहीं होता. It is your responsibility to learn, study and understand. And most of the time, people will respond positively when you say मुझे नहीं समझा. But you should put in all your effort to understand first. Okay? So keep that in mind. Make a graded action plan and start tracking that graded action plan. And now that you have an action plan, the most important thing for you now becomes focus and persistence. Focus and persistence. Focus means I'm targeted. Yes, ये मुझे करना है और यही मुझे करना है. And persistence, कुछ भी आओ, आने दो. Focus is the ability to set one's mind and attention on a particular course. पिछले 2 हफ्ते से मैं रेसिंग सीख रहा हूँ, ट्रैक रेसिंग, मोटर बाइक रेसिंग, ऑफ रोडिंग सिचुएशंस में मैं सीख रहा हूँ. एंड द ट्रेनर इज, जैसे ही मैंने वो ट्रेनिंग के लिए गया, मुझे लगा अभी सडनली दिखाएंगे जंप कैसे करने का, स्टोन के ऊपर कैसे बाइक लेने का, ऑल दैट. बट द फर्स्ट फुल, almost first half of the day, the trainer is talking about focus, about mindset, about attitude, about being able to pay attention, about alertness. बोलता है लोग पहले ना यहाँ से हार जाते हैं, फिर बाइक पे हार जाते हैं. And I was telling my coach, मेरा कोच जो डॉक्टर अजीत सैमुअल is my coach and mentor, he told me, really, ये क्या है, जहाँ पे भी हम जाते हैं, no matter what skill set it is, everything comes back to mindset. और जो लोग mindset के ऊपर काबू कर पाते हैं, they are able to achieve so much more with their body. First mindset, then body set. That is what we need to think about. Focus. Are you able to focus and are you able to persist? Because focus is the boring job. Focus is the long drawn job. Are you able to focus on something, right? And it involves channelizing all your energy and concentration into a specific task. Suddenly आपका दिमाग जो ऐसा है रेनबो जैसा सब जगह जाता है. You should be able to focus on a particular point. You see, I can show you. देखो मैं अभी I am not in focus right now, but now you'll see I am in focus. And the minute I'm in focus, things become clear. See, this is not in focus. तो मजा नहीं आ रहा आपको. But now it's going to be in focus. You see, that's in focus. And now I'm in focus, right? Focus is most important. Either long term or short term, and remaining in that state till the task is accomplished. So your job is to able to continue to stay in focus. You know, I don't know, काफी friends होंगे आपके पास who are focused. ये बहुत focused लड़का है, ये बहुत focused लड़की है, ऐसा focus हमें नहीं. As parents, your job is going to also be to show children your focus, so that children learn to focus. That is very, very important. It's almost invisible because it's long drawn and it takes time and it's difficult to see what focus means. तो आपको वो दिखाना है अपने बच्चों को focus क्या है. So here are tips, some tips for you to focus. Okay, on your graded action plan. Remember, you made graded action plan. First is set small daily goals. देखो मैं जब भी सुबह उठता हूँ, I write down ये 10 चीज मुझे करना है. मैं मेरा नोटबुक में लिखता हूँ, फिर उसको उठा के मैं गूगल टास्क में लिखता हूँ, फिर उसको उठा के मैं मेरा गूगल कैलेंडर में डालता हूँ, मैं 10 जगह डालता हूँ. मैं कभी कभी मेरे व्हाट्सएप पे खुद को मैसेज करता हूँ, टू डू लिस्ट. क्योंकि मैं 10 चीज लिखता हूं, मुझे ये 10 चीज करना, मैं घर नहीं जाऊंगा जब तक वो 10 चीज मैं नहीं करूंगा तब तक. दैट गिव्स मी फोकस, दैट गिव्स मी क्लैरिटी. दिस इज व्हाट आई वांट टू डू. माय मदर टॉट मी दैट. व्हेन माय मदर वुड सेंड मी आउटसाइड एंड से जाओ ब्रेड लेके आओ, एज अ चाइल्ड मैं फटाफट नीचे उतरता, तो भागता था घर से सीधा दुकान तक, और वहां पे अंकल ब्रेड, अंकल बोलता ब्रेड नहीं है, खटक करके मैं वापस आ जाता था घर पे. एंड माई मदर यूज्ड टू से ब्रेड किधर है? नहीं, दुकान में ब्रेड नहीं था. दुकान से ब्रेड लाने नहीं बोला, मैं तुझे ब्रेड लाने बोला, वापस जा. सो देन आई वुड गो टू डिफरेंट. एक दुकान में नहीं है, दूसरा दुकान में नहीं है, तीसरा दुकान में नहीं है, चौथा दुकान से ब्रेड लेके आता था. घर पे आया, आई वुड टेल माई मदर, मम्मा 5 दुकान गया और ब्रेड लेके आया. शी इज लाइक, आई डोंट केयर कितना दुकान गया, तू ब्रेड लेके आया ना, बस हो गया. टीचर्स यू फोकस. सेम एग्जाम्पल, थोड़ा बड़ा होने के बाद mother would say go get bread. I would run to the shop again. I would say bread है, but bread देखता हूँ साइड में और कुछ देखा, oh wow very nice किशमिश टॉफी बार, फैंटास्टिक. मैं वो लेके आ जाता था घर पे, या मैं पाव लेके आता था, या मैं सैंडविच ब्रेड लेके आता था, या फ्रूट ब्रेड लेके आता. कम रनिंग बैक होम, फट सैंडविच ब्रेड. मम्मी ने क्या भेजा था, मैं क्या लाने के लिए भेजा था? ब्रेड लाने. ये क्या लाया? फ्रूट ब्रेड. फोकस, लॉस्ट फोकस, डिस्ट्रैक्शन. You understand? So these are things that as children, you as parents must teach your children. Activity दो focus के लिए, activity दो जहाँ पे distraction कम हो सकता है. Okay? So set daily goals. तुम्हारे जो goals है उसको daily goals करो, break them down, make them down. छोटे actionable things. आज मुझे ये करना है, and by focusing on only what needs to be accomplished, you will be able to actually get things done. Second one is, out of those 10 things that you have to do today, 3, 4 or 5 will be critical task. CTC, critical to complete. Identify what are those critical to complete tasks and go at it first. Hit the critical things first. ठीक है? Write down your critical task. Each hour review it and then move on. And you'll feel so good. You'll feel like, yes, मैंने इतना कुछ किया आज. You see, at the end of every day now, when you go back home, you should feel like मैंने आज बहुत काम किया. मैंने आज काम किया, मैंने सोचा, मैंने प्लान किया, मैंने स्टडी किया, मैंने थिंकिंग किया, मैंने लर्न किया, मैंने कुछ बचाया, मैंने कुछ कमाया, मैं कुछ नया हुआ हूं और मैं कल के लिए तैयार हूं. That's what you want to do. When you sleep now, you should feel like a champion. When you sleep on your bed now, the second you hit the bed, तुम्हारी आंखें बंद हो गई, you should just sink into deep sleep because you fulfilled your day. Every cell in your body must relax and wait for a great new day. That's when your mindset, your body set, everything is aligned. You feel great about this life that God has given you. And then the most important is eliminate pointless distractions. देखो distractions है ना, they sneak up at you. Distractions is not always ऐसा announce करके नहीं आता है मैं एक distraction हूँ. Identify your distractions and most of the time तुम्हारे जो goals है ना, goals उसके distractions most of the time क्या है? Use the chat box and think about it for a second. गौर से सोचो मैं क्या बोल रहा हूं. अगर आपने एक गोल बनाया, मुझे इंजीनियर बनना है, अगर वो मेरा गोल है, what can be a distraction? What can be a distraction? Think about that. Use the chat box. Parents or students, whoever you are, use the chat box and think what can be a distraction for something like that. We all know mobile distraction hai, TV distraction hai, Facebook distraction hai, YouTube distraction, social media distraction hai, ye distraction hai, dost log distraction. But do you know what is the number one distraction for goals? जब आप goals बनाते हो, do you know what is the number one distractions? Use the chat box and let me know. And by the way, for those of you who are watching on Facebook, you can register for our show. We do it. We have a show called Unlock Parenting. It happens every Friday. I'm just putting out the chat, the link. और ये जो link मैं अभी डाल रहा हूँ chat में for Facebook right now, you will see that you can go and register there, and the next time we take a session, आपको automatically email आ जाएगा. Okay. So, and let me see if I can also put it in the broadcast so you can take a look at it. And it's bit.ly/unlock parenting. That's what it is. bit.ly/unlock parenting. Okay. So let me tell you, most of the time, some of the biggest distractions for your goal are other goals. Yeah. So if you want to be a doctor, suddenly you might get a distraction and say you want to be a dentist or you want to be a automobile engineer. So you need to understand that other goals, secondary goals, alternative goals are the number one distractor for your primary goal. और वो इसीलिए होता है क्योंकि लोगों को ये लगता है कि वो जो सेकेंडरी गोल है ना मेरा, वो सेकेंडरी गोल इतना अच्छा है कि लगेगा नहीं आपको कि आप डिस्ट्रैक्ट हो रहे हो, आप गलत जगह पे जा रहे हो. ऐसा ही लगेगा कि आप सही दिशा में जा रहे हो. इनफैक्ट आप गलत दिशा में जा रहे हो. I'll give you an example. आप यहां से जा रहे हो अहमदाबाद और आपने गलत टर्न ले लिया. क्यों आपने गलत टर्न ले लिया? क्योंकि वो रोड इतना अच्छा है, इतना साफ है, इतना सुथरा, इतना ब्यूटीफुल है. आप सडनली 120 के स्पीड पे आप गाड़ी चला रहे हो और आपको इतना अच्छा फीलिंग हो रहा है, वाह क्या रोड है, क्या जबरदस्त है, एवरीथिंग इज गुड. आपके दिमाग में वो आता ही नहीं है कि शायद आप डिस्ट्रैक्ट हो गए हो, शायद आप गलत जगह पे जा रहे हो, क्योंकि वो रोड इतना अच्छा है. एंड शायद 100 किलोमीटर के बाद आपको पता चलेगा कि आप गलत दिशा में आए हो. सो गलत दिशा तब होता है जब आपको एक्चुअली पता नहीं होता है कि दिस इज रॉन्ग. इट्स बिकॉज इट अपीयर्स सो राइट. It happens in the gym. You want to join a gym and suddenly you want to join weight loss, and then you may join Zumba, and then you may join CrossFit, and then you may join MMA, and then you may join running. Get lost. So that is something that you want to think about. And the last 5 minutes of our talk today, and I'm aware that our talk has been a little, longer than usual. You want to think about our summary. So the first thing is, what do you want? Where are you? How do you get there? Point 2, set personal life goals. List down the 3 most important life goals that you have and start working on them and make a graded action plan. And the third and most important part is focus and persist. As parents, you want to show kids what focus and what persistence and perseverance looks like. Set small daily goals and crack it, man. Get it done. Put it behind you and eliminate distractions, no matter how awesome or cool they may feel. Thank you so much for being part of Unlocked Parenting. I had a great time with you guys, and I'm really looking forward to spending time with you next time. I think next week we have Unlocked Parenting, and Ria Willibrod is going to be running Unlocked Parenting. It's going to be especially designed for the children, for parents of children of nursery, junior, senior, standard 1, 2, 3, 4. She's a brilliant speaker. She's prolific, and she's going to bring in a lot of new insights and educative thoughts for you guys. So hopefully I will see you, or Ria is going to see you next week for Unlock Parenting. Thank you very much. And